back to another episode of Big Bear Boxing Combo, episode number 91. The conversation I want to get into today, well, Devin Haney finally received the respect from the fans and the media after accepting a one-sided contract from Kambosos. I'm going to break it all down in this video, so stay tuned. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell.
How's it going?
It's going good, man. I'm happy that the fight is finally made. The fight that I've been wanting for a while. You know, whether it was him, whether it was TL, no matter who had the belts, I wanted to fight. And I finally showed that. I finally got the chance to show that. All the talk that I was saying, everything, all my words, you know, were truthful. And you know, when it came time for me to you know, get the opportunity, you know, I went full-fledged to it.
The politics and things of that nature, and just kind of like, this deal was pretty shocking in the boxing world, seeing the fact that they were like, Devin prefers to fight on the zone, and you know, Kambosos doing this ESPN deal and all things like that. Yeah. How did it all materialize? You just
to be honest, I pretty much just agreed to everything that they wanted. No matter what it was, I said, you know what, I didn't argue. We didn't get nothing our way.
So you guys know how I break my videos down in two different rounds. So round one is how big of a risk is Devin Haney actually taking? Also in round two, is Devin Haney following the same footsteps that Floyd Mayweather had to follow to get the big fights and the big paydays? So let's get into round one. So how big of a risk is Devin Haney taking? I'm pretty sure this has been talked about on other channels, but I'm gonna try to dive a little bit deeper. The magnitude of the fight is very big. I think Devin Haney has a ton of pressure on his shoulders, you know, to be only 23. Think about it, only being 23 years old. If he becomes undisputed, he would be the youngest undisputed champion ever in the sport of boxing. So he has a ton of he has my respect. I'm just going to start by saying that. But I think he has a ton of pressure on his shoulders. And I'm thinking also too, you see the title where he was getting respect from the fans and the media as well. I think he will. I think he's already receiving a ton of respect and a lot of glory for the guts that he's showing, being so young and taking. I think is a mature decision, not only by him and his, but not by only his camp and stuff like that, but Devin Haney. I knew he wanted to fight. You heard with there's a clip out there that's going around with Eddie Hearn talking about the situation. He did not have any other opponents that he knew that he could face to get the way he wanted to go. But Kambosos, obviously, he was backed into a corner, whatever. So I think overall he will get respect from the fans and the media. I think he will be treated different after this fight, especially if he can get through it. I think he will get through it, but in the sport of boxing, nothing is guaranteed. So as far as pressure, as far as risk, I think it's one of the biggest risks that I have seen since Floyd Mayweather, and I'll get to more on that in round two. But the risk and the reward, man, he's almost in a lose-lose situation in a way. I think if it depends on how he wins, I think that he can come out as a superstar. I think he's a star right now, but he's nowhere near where Tank is. But I think he'll be on a Tank type of level if he comes out with a dominant victory, which I predict he does, and I think a lot of other people can agree because of his skill set alone. But like I say, anything can happen in the sport of boxing. There's a lot of cheating, there's a lot of politics in the sport of boxing, and especially going to another country. So the pressure, everything is on Devin Haney. Nothing is on George Kambosos. He can fight freely. He can go in a training camp with nothing on his mind. He probably already, you know, I'm not saying that a man going to think that he's going to lose. He's supposed to think, Kambosos is supposed to think that he's one of the best boxers in the world. But, you know, just from skills alone, I think Devin Haney should get it. On paper, he should get it. But, it's, you know, like I say, the way he's dealing with the pressure, the way I'm you know, from the clip that I showed you guys, I'm not going to show the full clip, so you can go on, I think it's Fight Hype. They do a really good job with interviews and stuff like that. So please go to Fight Hype and look for the interview so you can see the full thing. Just the manner that Devin Haney, just the way Devin Haney carries himself, I think he's a very mature guy for 23 years old. And I think that he will become undisputed champion. I think if he has, like he said, if he has to face Kambosos 10 times, he'll beat him 10 times. But like I said, go check out that interview. You guys will love it. I think that Devin Haney is showing a lot of guts. And, you know, I think that, you know, I think the fans have no other choice but to respect him. How can you not respect him Even in my comments, people have called him a bomb. He's ducking, he's doing this, he's doing that. But the sport of boxing is not clear and cut like a lot of people think it is. There's a lot of loopholes you got to go through, a lot of craziness you got to go through to get to where you got to go. But I think that Devin Haney did a really good job. Him and his team did a really good job accepting this fight. He knew he had to take the fight. But like I say, the risk versus reward, man, is, the reward is greater, but he still has a ton that he can lose as well. But let's get into round 2. So let's get into round 2. So is Devin Haney following in the same footsteps as Floyd Mayweather when it comes to taking a big risky fight to get to where he want to go? Obviously, I think so. I think a lot of the media and the fans are starting to see it and believe in Devin Haney. I think that the tables are turning slowly. But if you don't know, if you're not familiar with the sport of boxing, Floyd Mayweather had to take a very risky fight against Oscar De La Hoya, and Oscar De La Hoya was the man. I think it was like 2000, like 98, 2000, somewhere like that. But he had to take a really risky fight. He was not getting the fights or the respect from the fans that Devin Haney is going through the same thing. But Floyd Mayweather, being who he is, he would not be a billionaire if he did not take the steps that was needed to actually not only get big fights but actually get the paydays. So a lot of people want to get paid. A lot of people want to get the big fights and the flashiness and all that other stuff. But I feel like the move that Devin Haney has showed at only 23 years of age is making some boxers, man, those guys should be really, really looking at Devin Haney different, and the fans should be looking at Devin Haney as well a lot different than what they was before. But like I say, sometimes you got to take a step back, and I think that Devin Haney took a major step back when it comes to the pay that he's used to getting. I think he's around about maybe $6 million a fight, $7 million a fight. That's a lot of money for a 23-year-old. But I think with him taking a big major pay cut, not only for one fight, but 2 fights, and he has to fight in Kambosos' backyard twice. And I think it's a greater risk than what Floyd Mayweather took. He had a 1-fight deal. Yes, it was one-sided financially, but other than that, it led to bigger paydays, bigger shows and stuff like that. So I think that Devin Haney can capitalize on when he come back to America for the second time with those belts, which I anticipate him to win both fights. I would not be surprised to see a knockout. I think Devin Haney will train to knock George Kambosos out, and I think he has the skill to do it. A lot of people say, well, he's a pillow puncher, whatever, man. You get hit by a professional boxer, it's totally different, man. A lot of times it comes down to skills and how you can take those punches and conditioning. But that's what I love about doing my channel, man. I love trying to take a deeper dive, a deeper look into some of these situations. But like I say, a lot of these guys that's out here claiming that they the best and want to be the best, to get anywhere like Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez, to me, those are the two. Oscar De La Hoya too. Oscar De La Hoya was a guy to actually take big risk fights and actually get paid and go off on his own. Devin Haney is a free agent. A lot of other guys are becoming free agents. They're seeing what Devin Haney is doing. I think a lot of other boxers will take those big risky fights, and I do think that boxing will become a major sport in the United States once again by guys that's setting the tone like Devin Haney. I don't care what weight class anybody is in. I don't care what nobody else say after Devin Haney. If you're not moving in the same footsteps as Devin Haney and proving that you want to take the big fights and not only, I get the money will be there. If you get the big fights, the money will be there. A lot of companies will jump in and get these guys paid, but you have to take the big risk with less reward sometimes to get to where you got to go. And Devin Haney, told you in the interview, please go watch the Fight Hype interview. Those guys did an amazing job, and I think that Devin Haney showed a lot of maturity in that interview as well. So please go look at Fight Hype for the interview. But like I say, he putting a lot of boxers on notice. He putting 135 on notice. Anybody that want those belts, they're gonna have a really tough task getting them out of Devin Haney's hands. I'm telling you, Devin Haney. I think that he's gonna continue to get better. I think he's gonna train to, like I say, he's gonna inflict a lot of pain on George Kambosos. I think the skills alone, I think he's gonna wear him out. But I think he's got to go for a knockout or really flawless victory, but you never know in the sport of boxing. He can still go over there and get cheated. So it's what I'm talking about now means absolutely nothing until those guys get into the ring. Anybody can break down this fight. A lot of people should already know with common sense, if you watch boxing, if you understand boxing, that on paper that Devin Haney should have a whitewash with George Kambosos, but nothing is never solid until these guys get into the ring. But a lot of these other boxers in these other weight classes need to pay attention. But you guys, let me know what you think about this one down in the comments below. That's going to conclude another episode of Big Bear Boxing Convo, episode number 91. You guys let me know what you think about this topic down in the comments below. If you want to see what I'm wearing, shoptachi.com. Follow me on all social media platforms that I currently own. Links will be down in the descriptions below. Always want to thank you guys for giving me the motivation to give you the best in boxing when it comes to content. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell. It's very important for the growth of the channel. With all that out of the way, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Big Bear Boxing Convo.